been a year since I first tested out the Nanoleaf Essentials line. In fact, one of my first videos on this channel featured the Nanoleaf A19 light bulb. Thread was pretty new at the time, and these were actually my first Thread accessories for my HomeKit smart home. Fast forward to today, I've gained some experience as a creator and hope you'll enjoy my new and hopefully improved review of the Nanoleaf Essentials light bulb and light strip a year later. Hey there, I'm the Brad Lloyd, and this channel is all about smart home tech using Apple HomeKit. The market for smart lighting is very congested. There are more options now than ever before. Yet somehow, Nanoleaf has managed to stand out, and there's several reasons for this. First of all, these products are HomeKit compatible, which is a must for me, though they also work with Google Assistant and Razer Chroma for the gamers out there. Secondly, these will work with Matter, so even more will be able to enjoy them once it launches soon enough. Perhaps most importantly, they work well. They're bright, especially the whites, they produce rich colors, and they're reliable, which is pretty important. These communicate using Bluetooth and Thread. Those that have watched my channel for a while know how much I'm into Thread, which is fast, has good range, and doesn't require a manufacturer hub. The Nanoleaf Essential lights are actually what's known as full thread devices and can improve the reliability and range of your other Thread accessories. Especially for those that have a large home, adding a full thread device like Nanoleaf Essentials lights helps to ensure a strong connection throughout your house. Full thread devices are typically Thread accessories that plug in and don't need to conserve power like battery operated devices. In order to take advantage of Thread, you need a border router like a HomePod Mini or the 2021 Apple TV 4K. I'm a fan and highly recommend both the Mini and Apple TV. But you should know that Nanoleaf announced some exciting news recently. Their existing lines, shapes, and elements will soon work as a border router in HomeKit, meaning if you don't have the latest Apple TV or HomePod Mini, but you own, say, Nanoleaf lines, you'll be able to take advantage of Thread within HomeKit. It's great to see the list of border routers grow, adding even more value to Nanoleaf products. So what if you don't have one of these border router devices? Well, luckily, Nanoleaf Essentials also works with Bluetooth. This means they'll be a little bit slower, I'd say a good 2 to 3 seconds slower depending on the Bluetooth connection. I recommend using these with a Thread border router to get the best performance, though Bluetooth could be a short-term option if you're planning on adding a HomePod Mini or other border router in the near future. Or perhaps speed is just not a priority to you. I don't get it, but hey, who am I to judge? The last standout for me is price. The A19 light bulb sells on the Nanoleaf store for $24.99 Canadian or $69.99 for a 3-pack. And the 2-meter light strip costs a reasonable $69.99 with 1-meter extensions at $24.99. Though as of recording, their bulbs are selling for $19.99 Canadian and $49.99 for the light strip on Amazon.ca. This is a crazy good deal and I'm not sure how long it'll last, but I'll leave a link in the description in hopes that they're still available. Even at the regular price, these are extremely well priced compared to other bulbs and light strips on the market with comparable quality. So great price, good colors, they're bright, fast, and reliable. You can see why I love these so much. I have 6 Nanoleaf bulbs and a light strip that I purchased on my own. I have to say that I do really like these products, so when Nanoleaf agreed to send me some samples for a review on the channel, I was pretty excited to collaborate with them. Let's take a closer look at each of these products, starting with the Essentials light bulb. As you can see, the design is quite unique. The shape is called the rhombi cozy dodecahedron. It has an average brightness of 807 lumens with a max brightness of 1100 lumens. It has a temperature range of 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin with 16 million colors, which is pretty typical for RGB lights. One thing I have to mention with smart bulbs is that if there's a switch, it needs to remain in the on position in order for the lights to work because they need power to allow them to be controlled remotely. If the switch is off, these lights won't respond, which makes them perfect for lamps and places where a switch isn't used. I would eventually like to see something like the Lutron Aurora that works with Nanoleaf lights. The Aurora is a device that locks the switch into the on position and includes a rotary dimmer so you can turn the lights on and off as well as adjust the brightness, though it only works with Philips Hue lights. You can't change the color from the Aurora, but it's impossible to turn the light switch off, which is the point. If you decide to use Nanoleaf bulbs with a smart switch, you're likely going to have some issues. For example, I tested this with the Lutron Caseta dimmer switch. When the Caseta is turned off, the Nanoleaf lights won't work. I also tried dimming these lights with the Lutron Caseta, and then trying to increase the brightness of the Nanoleaf lights to 100% in the Home app, and while it showed it was at 100%, the brightness didn't actually change. I also found that the lights won't even power on sometimes, so extremely inconsistent behavior and not a good workaround. I have successfully used these with an Aqara switch, since there's a setting in the Aqara app that allows you to disable the physical switch. This means that unlike the Lutron Aurora, you can't change the lights from the switch, but it also means you can't accidentally turn it off. And you could always add a button for physical controls, such as an Aqara wireless mini switch or a flick button, so just something to keep in mind. I've been using these lights for close to a year and they work great. I have some in my bathroom, which is great for being able to adjust the lighting temperature throughout the day. These lights and the light strip are both compatible with adaptive lighting, and I'll have more on that in a minute. I also have 3 of these in our great room that typically turn on when I first come downstairs. These work well whether you're using them in a single bulb lamp or a fixture with multiple bulbs. I use adaptive lighting here as well, so cooler, bright light during the day and softer, more yellow light in the evening. And I use color in some of my favorite scenes like my chill time and movie time scene. A little later, I'll also show you some cool effects that you can download from the Nanoleaf app and even use in HomeKit. Next, let's have a closer look at the Nanoleaf Essentials light strip. There are many light strips out there and some really cool ones, like the Onvis Chameleon addressable light strip, or the even cooler Hue Sync light strip, which is a lot of fun, but it's also much more expensive and requires additional hardware. The Nanoleaf Essentials light strip isn't either of those. It's simply a really good, reliable, well-priced light strip. This comes in a 2-meter size, which is pretty common. It can be cut every 13 inches as marked by the cut lines, and it can be extended up to 10 meters without affecting the max brightness. Speaking of brightness, this light strip is very bright, amongst the brightest that you'll find. The max brightness is listed as 2200 lumens with an average of 2000 lumens. It's great to have all of those lumens of available brightness, though usually I never have mine at 100% since it's so bright. The light strip comes with a controller so you can turn it on or off or cycle through various colors. There are many places where light strips look amazing, though one of the most common places is behind your TV, which is exactly where I have mine. This is a 55-inch TV, and I ended up needing 2 extensions in order to fit all the way around the TV, though I did have some excess that I needed to cut. There are several techniques for installing a light strip on a TV. As you can see, I used the loop method, which worked well. The adhesive on the light strip is pretty standard and works well on straight surfaces, though because there's some bending around the corners, I've reinforced this with some double-sided tape from 3M. I'll include a link in the description if you're interested. As with any light strip, you always want to be careful not to overbend to avoid causing any damage. I've had this light strip installed here for close to a year and it's been great. I tested a lot of light strips and Nanoleaf is the one I choose for the most important and frequently used place in my home. You can view these lights in the Home app, control the brightness, lighting temperature, and color. You can include these into your own unique scenes and automations, and they work with adaptive lighting, meaning the lighting temperature will change automatically throughout the day based on the sun's position. So it's cooler white light during the day and then warmer yellow light at night. Nanoleaf also has a feature called circadian lighting, which is similar but allows you to customize the sunset and sunrise. So perhaps you're on a different schedule because of your work hours maybe, then you have the flexibility to create your own adaptive lighting schedule. Circadian lighting also allows non-Apple users to take advantage of adaptive lighting, which is an exclusive feature to Apple HomeKit. But what else can you do in the Nanoleaf app? Nanoleaf offers a bunch of really cool effects, which is great if you have several Nanoleaf products in one space. Nanoleaf calls them scenes, though since they're dynamic and not static like a scene you would create in the Home app, I typically refer to these as effects. Since I have some Nanoleaf bulbs and a light strip in my great room, I often use Nanoleaf effects. You can even have your Nanoleaf scenes automatically synced with HomeKit by going into the settings and select Scene Sync. You can then add in your other HomeKit accessories. For example, the day-night effect, You could also lock your doors, close the shades, and play some nice music. So what do you think of the Nanoleaf Essentials lineup? If you've used any of these products before, then let me know in the comments how you're enjoying them. I'll have links in the description if you want to add any of these lights to your smart home collection. That's it for this week's video. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.